It just felt like surreal. It was just every day for 5 months. It was, we got to do this to open, we got to do this to open, we've got to do this, we've got to, just so many, I've said it throughout the process, but like so many things went like astray. So when there were so many bumps along the way. So to wake up on opening day, it just felt like, like pinch me. It's like, is this actually real? Because it's throughout the entire process, it just felt like we were just getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And then to finally be there when we were open, it's like, okay, well, it's actually here, it's actually happening, and it's now or never. Everything we did for 5 months got us here. So, time to show the people what we built. But it was crazy. That's probably the best word to describe it. It just felt great to be able to see everything we had envisioned come to life. I mean, like it literally happened exactly how we wanted it to. So, and know that like you said, this is only the beginning. A lot of time ahead, and just a lot of opportunity to make this place special every day. So. Shop have been well above what we've expected, because at the National, when we run trade nights, we've expected people to already be there for the National. So when we run trade night at the shop, we weren't really sure what to expect, just how many people would actually give up a Friday or Saturday night to show up. So when we ran the first couple and we had quite a bit of people, we knew that those were going to be a big part of our year. We had run one before in the old shop, and it was packed in such a small, 550 square foot space. So to be able to run them here with 3 times the space and a lot more advertising and preparation and things like that, it was just great to see how they turned out, and I definitely anticipate running more of those next year. Yeah, Kids Trade Night was probably like a top 5 highlight of the year for us. Growing up, I didn't ever have anything like that. That was never something that was run. Like, they didn't exist. And like you said, we went into it not knowing what to expect. Were we going to get 100 or we're going to get 5? So we had no idea what to expect in terms of like how many people were going to show up. And then when it opens and there's parking issues, you're like, well, is anybody going to come, or parents going to be like, no thanks, and turn around? So to see all of the kids there and just how well it went from all of the kids and the parents we got feedback from. I bet you since that day, it's probably the #1 question I've been asked in the card shop is, when is the next Kids Trade Night? We get asked all the time. So the fact that there is so much interest and there was so much support around that was really cool. Obviously had a lot of good help from Panini and Mark and so many people that were willing to donate and make it really, really special. But that's definitely something we're going to run again in the future. But it was cool to do that again. It just to not have it when I grew up, and I just know how big, how important the next generation of card collector is. So to be able to offer something like that, in our shop is really cool. Recording Card Talk with Tyler and Lou on the show floor during the show. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But there were a couple times when I was at the show where I was at the table and it was just, you saw it. It was so hectic, everybody coming up and just making so many deals. But there was a couple times I just stood back and just like took a look around and, to be there with Reg and Dustin and, we were filming everything. Just everybody being there and just the environment, just because again, we got it taken away from us in 2020. So to be able to just really take it all in 2021, that was special. I think that was probably one of my biggest surprises of the year, was how crazy the trade night at the National was. like you said, we expected big things. We had prepared for it. There were a lot of good people involved. Like, it was the first national in 2 years since the one got canceled. So it was really the recipe for success with the trade night. But to see it just all unravel and happen as quickly as it did, and to the extent that it did, like you said, just to walk in and t-shirts be gone in 5 minutes and food to be gone in 3 minutes, and there to be thousands of people in such a quick period of time. I remember the time lapse, watching it afterwards, just watching flocks of people. And there were people that waited like 4, 5, 6 hours to get into a free trade night. So looking back on it, it's just kind of crazy, just because I remember what it was like on day one when there was 15 people. So to see well above 2,000 people 5, 6 years later, it's crazy. But yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise of the year, was just how massive that event turned out to be. I think the fun part about shows is just how many of them there are anymore, right? So you really any weekend, it seems like there's a major show happening in some city, and as the year went on, that definitely progressed and continued to evolve. But I think that'll be a big part of our plans in 2022, because in 2021 we were all over. I mean, Boston and Dallas and Tampa and Shipshawana and Indy and Pittsburgh and Nashville and all over. I mean, like we flew, we drove, like we were in 2 cities in one day. We went back to back to back to back to back. Like it was a lot. So, but it's one of those things that it's what we enjoy doing. It's typically the videos most people say that they enjoy. So it's really a win-win for us, and it's something that, like I said, I anticipate doing a lot more of those in 2022. It just, as the card show game grows and evolves, I think it'll be a big part of our future. It started out as just a hobby shop and making mail day videos, and it's turned into so much more than that. And that was just really you got to see it firsthand, for 7 weeks there wasn't really a lot of off days, but again, that's what we signed up for when we started doing this. So Collections, Card Shops, and Collectors was started as a way to promote good people, really good people in the hobby. As I've been in it for 15 plus years now, I've just met so many people, and I think there's a lot of people out there that are doing good work and really building a name for themselves, but some people might not be known as well at the moment. So really trying to give good people the publicity and show the world, like, hey, there's a lot of cool card collectors and card shops and collections out there that maybe some people don't know about. Nashville was probably just the most interesting show of the year. Like you said, we went into it with absolutely no expectations. We had just drove to Pittsburgh a couple weeks before, and it was all right. Like, we got some content out of it, and we had a good show, but then we go to Nashville with just really no expectations. Never been, don't know who's going. We're driving a long way, got stuck in traffic, we have no idea. And then to go there and, we bought the value boxes, the 2 or 3 value boxes that were really good. We bought the 5-row box of like dime cards. We bought the 52 Mantle set. We got to hang out with Cruz and make some content with Cruz, who's, one of my favorite people in the hobby. So it was one of those shows that we just had no expectations for, that ended up being one of the top 3 shows we went to all year. But the 52 Mantle set was just, that was special because, as someone that's, I've done this really every day for 15 years of my life consecutively. And, younger Ryan, when I got in it in 2006, when I was buying 2006 tops looking for, Reggie Bush rookies, that was the Grail card then. It was always the 52 tops Mickey Mantle. Like, that is sports cards, right? That's baseball cards. That is the card. It's up there, I think, above the 86 Jordan and the Brady Bowman Chrome or Brady Contenders. Like, it's really the card. So to be able to acquire such a cool piece of history and make a deal with a good person and learn about the history of the set, like you said, we didn't have any expectations to ever buy it. It was just, if the opportunity presented itself, that's what we would do, and it did, and it just made that trip, 10 times cooler than we ever anticipated it would be. I think the box battles were an underrated part of our channel this year. That was something we started at the second shop we did with Andy for the first time, and I think those were something people enjoyed. I know I've watched a couple other channels who have had a lot of success with those and have gotten some good feedback on those. So I think that's something we'll continue to do in the future. I want to continue to expand it to where it's not necessarily just card shops. Obviously, we did that with Reg. We both enjoyed the F1 documentary, so to be able to battle with her and really feature her on a video was really cool. But that's something I plan to do more of in the future, is just when the opportunity presents itself, no matter who it is, to really take that on and to do that and really grow that into our channel more. You and I talked before you got hired, is this something that we could do? Is this possible, right? Well, if we film every day, will people watch, right? What happens when production quality goes up 10x compared to my little iPhone? And we saw it, and we saw the results, and I think this is going to be a game changer for us in our business. So I think 2021, we'll look back and it'll just be a staple in the journey, because it was an important year. So 2022 is going to be filled with a lot more growth, right? That was what I looked at in 2021, is we really grew a lot as a brand, and I think that's something we're just going to continue to build on in 2022. I think you're going to see a lot more things, a lot more feedback. I know that was something you and I spent a lot of time on later in the year, was viewer feedback. So what do our followers want? What are they saying? And I think that's something we're going to really try to focus on in 2022. I know we want to get more into like educational aspects of cards, right? With like an intro to collecting series, how we grade cards, how we sell cards, how we track cards, just different things like that. I know that's a question we get asked a lot, is just how to cards, right? So I think that's something we're going to look to do. Going to continue to grow the show vlogs. That's something that's important to us, to be able to, one, buy the inventory, grow the business there, have more things available for sale on all of our online platforms. That's obviously crucial, but to be able to grow our brand in person and vlog and create the content at shows is obviously key for us. And then I think you're going to see again, more growth in the things that we're already doing now that we just started in the last couple months, right? The CCCs, right? I want to get more people on there. I want to show the world who these people are, what their collections look like, and what they're doing in the space. And I think that's important. A lot more collaborations. I know we've talked about those in at shows we've gone to recently with a couple different, YouTubers and card shops and collectors and just different people, and create some more mutually beneficial content where we can both grow our channels, cross collaborate, things like that. And then box battles, pack wars, just all sorts of different things. So I'm excited for 2022. I think it's got a lot of good in store. We didn't know what to expect in 2021 because we really, you started couple months into the year and we didn't know what it would look like when we started this, but now we have a good idea of what works, what doesn't work, what people want to see more of, and now we're able to really hit the ground running on January 1st and make a full year of exactly what we want to, exactly how we want to, and I think that's going to set us up for success in 2022.
Not part of the plan.